friends, fans, and fine folk. So glad to have you here today. Go ahead and grab yourself some snacks and maybe some drinks, and come join me in a little bit of dexterity check with your old friend, your old pal, Rob Ross. Oh, I'm hearing myself twice. That's a little odd. Oh, probably because I have the stream up on my channel. Hi, friends. Good to see y'all here again today. You know, I don't usually stream at this time. It's a little different. I know. I had a little bit too much of the devil's lettuce this morning. Boy, howdy. I just thought it'd be a great time to throw away all the maths, throw away them numbers, all those rules. Put on a little music, because we all know how much I hate listening to music in my stream. Just love those dead silences, right? It's a good time for everybody, yeah. And do something a little different. Doing a little painting today, guys. And I thought what would be a lot of fun is, considering it's a different day altogether, I decided to switch my wig. Yeah, that's something I'd never told you guys before. Completely bald. I just have a really good cosmetics person. All right. And thought, we're all friends here. And I'm so proud of each and every one of you. Y'all had a great year. And if you didn't, well, you toughed it through those hard times. So today we're going to get a little candid. If you got any questions for me, even if they're personal, don't you worry about it. I'll go ahead and answer those, no problem. Before we get started, let's see. Oh, my Lord. Look at all those happy little names down there. Oh, boy. LT Wing, good to see you, my friend. How you doing? How's everything? Aftermath, it's great to see you. Hey, just wanted to say, thanks so much for your help the other day. The orphanage caper, it went great. Those little urchins didn't know it hit them. It was fantastic. Oh, Red Dial, good to see you as always, my friend. How y'all doing? Good to see you. All right. So what are we going to be working on today? I thought it would be fun, maybe a little bit. So working on that Feywild really gives you an impression. You can get it on the paper, so, when I'm telling my stories, you can actually visualize it, rather than me just talking about mechanics all day long, right? So I thought, let's talk about a little part of my world that I don't know if I've ever shown you guys before. A little thing I like to call the Twilight Forest. I thought that'd be a little fun imagery for you today. So why don't we go ahead and get started? I'll go ahead and explain the colors that we're going to be using as we go along. I don't have enough money to put the graphics up with the colors on it up there. But hey, that's okay. That's okay. If you like to do a little painting too with me, then just by all means, go ahead and grab your paints and set up your easels. I know it'll be fine for you too. Am I impersonating Ben? No, I'd never do that to one of my players. I just think that's mean. Besides, Ben is an amazing man. He really captures what humanity should be at all times, whether he's acting or not. Great guy. Let's go ahead and get started, shall we? We're going to use a little bit of this titanium white here. What a beautiful, nice little color that is. Well, in fact, it's not a color at all. It's a shade. I don't know if you knew that. It has to do with math. But we don't have to get into that right now. We're going to get a little bit of the coal black as well. And what we're going to do is we're going to dab it all in. We're going to dab it all into our bristles there. Make it all fluffy and even. Yeah. It is the Twilight Forest, so we have to, make sure that the sky isn't perfectly blue all the time. We got some phthalo blue for that. What we want to do is just get in there. Just get in there. Just start making brushes on this beautiful canvas here. You really want to just get it into the fabrics there. Yeah. You don't have to use much paint. You just got to make sure it's nice and feathered out there. There we go. Let's get that feathering in there. Maybe get a couple swirls in there. Yeah. Just really get it in there. All right. There's a lot of sky to be had in that twilight forest. So we got this. Oh, Fancy. Fancy seeing you here. Good to see you as always. How's your day been, my dear? You know, Fancy, I don't think I've ever told anyone this before, but if there was one person I'd rather be than myself, it's you. All right. You just want to get that paint up in the bristles there and really scrub it out. Get it all faded and nice. Who doesn't love a little ASMR paintbrushing, right? That's what we're here for. High expectations for this painting, Wander, let me tell you. I don't know how this paint is going to turn out, my friend, because to be honest, I'm higher than a giraffe's cloaca right now. All right. Looks like we need a bit more paint on there. That's okay. We can just brush it in right just like that. Get all our colors up in there. Nothing better. Maybe a little bit more white in there. Oh, I see GF Powers in chat. How you doing, my friend? You having a good time? Did you get everything worked out with that loan shark feller that you were telling me about? I hope it all turned out well. You know, I remember the first time that I went to the Twilight Forest. I was just a young child. No more than, I'd say 13, 14 maybe. My Uncle Steve, he'd give me this little tiny blot of paper. And he said, just put it under your tongue. And I always trusted my dear old uncle. He was a great guy. Not long after that, I remember seeing the colors just flash up before me. It was a beautiful moment. And then a tree started talking to me. It said, hey, come on into my mouth. So it did. It took me to a magical world. So many different faces and places I'd never been to in the past. I remember seeing there was a man there in a trench coat. It's really strange because he wasn't wearing anything else other than socks and that trench coat. He guided me through that world. Showed me things I'd never seen before. Funny enough, his name was Bob. And no matter where Bob went, he was always picking up cans. Not sure why cans would be needed in a magical world like that, but I'll tell you, we picked up more cans than I can think of that day. Yeah, he was actually oh, sorry about that, friends. That was probably a little loud. He was the inspiration for the Merry Gentleman. If you didn't know that. Good old Bob. You know, the most important part of any kind of painting is really just getting that first layer down. Once you get that first layer down, it can really become anything you want it to be. It might not look like much right now. Just a big old gray mess. That's okay. We can work through that a little bit later. We just want to add the layers on top. Right now we're just getting all that paint all into that fabric. Oh yeah, just like that. How y'all doing today? Everybody having a good weekend? Getting ready for the holiday seasons? No, I am. I was thinking about what I should get my fiancée this year. I mean, she's already got everything in me. I was thinking maybe maybe, just maybe this year, I'd get her that tiger she's always wanted. Yeah, beautiful white tiger with the black stripes. You know the one I'm talking about. But we'll see. I don't know, you let me know. What should I get her? I could get her the white tiger. Or, I was thinking maybe, I don't know, a meteorite. Not made into anything, just a big meteorite. What do you guys think? A little bit more is all we need. Maybe a lot more. Let's see. Let's see where this beautiful imagery takes us today. Snow leopards are cuter than tigers. You think so? I don't know. What are those other ones? The other ones that are black and white. They're always up in the mountains, running around in the snow. I think they're called zebras. There we go. It's looking fantastic so far, I think. Alright. Let's switch up the colors a little bit, shall we? Let's put a little bit more mood into this. See where we can take it. Of course, whenever you dry off your brush, you want to make sure that you're beating it like it owes you money. Alright, that should be good enough. We're going to keep going with the white. And just a little bit this time. You just want to get it on your brush, just a little bit. So you get that kind of nice impressions in there. We'll make some nice little clouds here. I like to just twist it a little bit. Get that real impression of that cloud in there. There we go. Let's get some more in there, shall we? A little bit of whites in there. That's all we need. Let's get some twisting action going. Yeah, just like that. And sometimes you gotta twist it a little back a little bit. Yeah, just like that. Did I ever tell you the story of the first time I met my first cloud? It was a wonderful day. Feeling a little gloomy there, wandering? Don't worry, we're gonna clean this up real nice. Just you wait and see. Sometimes you gotta start at the very beginning and then work your way out. Get them layers in there. There we go. Boy, howdy. I have never seen a nicer painting in my entire life. How did I meet my first cloud? Boy, that is a story. It happened not too long ago. I was in a park one day with my little dog. Yep. A stranger walked up to me. Said, "Hey, you ever met a cloud before?" I said, "No. No one's ever met a cloud before. That's crazy." He said, "No. I can get you to meet a cloud." I said, "You know what? Damned if I'd never met a cloud before. I'm going to follow him." So I did. It's a beautiful moment. Took me to a back alley. Started whispering these words in my ear. Can't remember them. Waved a watch right in front of my face. And I just watched it go back and forth and back and forth. Before I knew it, something came seeping out of the ground. A fog, strange mist, right out of that sewer there. I was worried at first, but damn if he didn't have the kindest smile, that mist. He introduced me. His name was Cloud. We frolicked throughout that back alley that day. Yeah, sure did. Never met anyone like Cloud before. Never gonna meet him again, I'm sure. Alright, for the bottom here, we're just gonna do some straps for a minute. Let's just get some just wide straps right across there. There we go. Just like that. We can fix up the edge lines later. We don't have to worry about that. Give it a little bit of an arc right in there. Yeah, just like that. There we go. Now's the moment y'all been waiting for. Go ahead and put a little color in this. I know y'all been waiting for it. We're going to get a little bit of that phthalo blue. That beautiful, beautiful phthalo blue. You don't want too much of it now. You're just going to get some coloring across the board there. I know it looks a little strange right now, because you see all the lines in there. But that's okay. That's why we got this brush for. What we do with this brush, you're asking? We're going to use that to feather it. Just huck your hand back and forth. That's all you got to do. You know, sometimes feathering takes a little while, but that's okay. Good things in life take time. There we go. Now it looks like an ocean, almost perfectly. It's like you can imagine yourself there. All right. Where did I learn how to paint? Well, let me tell you. I learned how to paint many, many years ago. Now, guys, this is a paint knife. You know, kind of reminds me of my days back in the joint. Yeah. Good old shivs. My little buddy, my only friend when I was in prison. Little Shivy. Alright. That's where I actually learned how to paint, in prison. I was serving hard time. You know, apparently the law don't take hasts too kindly these days. Don't know why. Let's get a little gray in there too. Let's mix in the gray a little bit. Now what you want to do with this, you want to just get a small bead on there, right? Where we want to put this. We're gonna do a little mountaintop here. It's gonna be a shadowy mountaintop. Let's go ahead and we'll start right here. Start right here. How do I want to do this? I think I did this backwards. I remember my painting instructor's name was Big Steve. He was a crazy kooky guy. Gave me the funniest little nickname. I think 'cause he'd look in my eyes and he'd see the deep blue oceans and being free. He used to call me Little Fish. Alright, we just want to drag our knife across the canvas just like that a little bit. Shake it up a little bit. You don't want a natural landline all the time. There we go. Make another little bit right here. Just drag that across the canvas. Wherever you think would work. There you go. Oh yeah, painting with shivs. That's what the class was called, actually. Funny enough. Sometimes I miss my days in the slammer. It was just a time where I could be myself. You know, really enjoy the freedoms in life. Without enjoying the freedoms in life. Kind of funny how that works. It's like one of those pair of popsicles. Alright, now that we got the side of the mountain down, we'll clean that up in a second. Don't you worry about that. You gotta think about where your light is coming from. I'm picturing the sun right over here, just beaming on down on that mountaintop. Let's clean our knife off a little bit. You gotta have a nice clean painting shiv if you want to do this right. Let's just wipe that off real quick. Alright. And let's go with a little bit of white and a little bit of this gray here. Well, maybe it seems it's dried on itself. We can fix that right up. We'll just mix it up again. There we go. Just get it all in there. Alright, once you got it nice and mixed up in your knife, yeah, let's mix that up real nice. Okay. Let's get a little roll, a little dollop down on the other side. Let's just take that down right like that. Just like that. Clean that up right there. Get some nice tall mountain peaks on there. Oh boy, is that looking good or what? I think this might be one of my finest pieces I've ever done. We have to do a little bit more to it first. Let's go ahead and get one of our brushes. We just gotta feather it out again. You just want to feather that down. Gotta be a little clean with your edges here. There we go. Now what I like to do, right in the center here, you're gonna figure out where everything's coming from, right? We're gonna take our knife again. We're just gonna do a nice big, clean line right down here. Just go ahead and get that right down here. And a nice clean line right about here. There we go. Yeah. Oh, got a little white on there. That's okay. That's okay. Only happy accidents. You know, I know most of the landscapers, is what we call them in the painting world, say, go ahead and put a layer of white on your canvas first. I don't see the purpose of that. I think this is spreading just fine, nice and smooth. I'm pretty sure the Louvre will probably get in touch with me after this one and say, hey, Rob Ross, can we have one of your paintings? We've been looking for something to replace the Mona Lisa for a long time. And I'll say, sure, I'll contribute to society that way. That's exactly how mountains look in the Twilight Forest, by the way. If you've ever wondered. Let's get in our stabbing brush again. And just get that evened out a little bit. There we go. Maybe grab a little bit more of that white. You just want to blend it a little bit. Just a little bit. It's okay if a bristle gets on your brush, or on your painting. That's what makes it look good. Gives it texture, is what us artists call it. Now, here's the secret to all of this. You want to get another knife this time. You got to make sure that you got plenty of different knives. Oh my gosh. Chudarillo. Thank you so much for the compliment, and thank you so much for the subscription, my friend. I know you could spend that anywhere, and you decided to spend it here with us. We appreciate that, and we appreciate you. I know I do personally. Alright, now here's where you just want to touch it a little bit. Just rub up against it. Just to get a little bit of that. Just like that. Just want to spread it out a little bit. There we go. This little mountaintop's gonna have a nice little snow peak top to it. I remember the last time I was on top of a mountain. It was back when I was younger. I think I was about 49 at the time. Went to the Tibetan mountains. Met myself a Sherpa. Guided me along those mountaintop ranges like no man ever could. Good old Doug the Sherpa. He had a dog with him. I think its name was Molly Cyrus, if I remember correctly. Very traditional name in Tibetan folklore. We went to the top of that mountain, and we sat there for hours. Lost track of time because I fell asleep. Yep. Of course, that was when Molly Cyrus decided to chew my left foot off. Yeah. I didn't ever tell you that I'm missing a foot. That's why I only show pictures of my shoes in my Instagram. Good old Molly. I hope she enjoyed that little foot of hers. Maybe kept it as a lucky charm for later on in life. Oh man. It's like staring into a window of real life, isn't it? Whew. Like I said, one of my best ones yet. Oh no, sorry, Mythical. The foot didn't grow back. That's just what I tell people. Now the trick here is if you're following along, you really don't want to cluster it up too much. You want to give it a variety. That's what gives it its layers, its texturing. That's your word of the day. That and Parapopsicle. My good friend DM Dave, actually, he's sending me apparently he's writing English 2.0. That DM Dave, probably one of the smartest, most talented individuals I've ever met in my life. Rivals my own. I'm very threatened by his masculinity. Yeah. Anyway, he's sending me a book. It's called The English Language 2.0. At least that's his working title. Or Guide to Wordology. Can't remember which one he said. That man. He is a mystery amongst men. That's for sure. Alright. That is looking good. Now what we want to do, we just want to mix it up a little bit. You know, give it some more of that definition that we're looking for. We're going to use a little bit more of the white. And we're just going to trail along here. Let's just trail that along and bring that down just like that. We'll fix that up later. We'll get a couple more swoops in there. Just like that. Yeah. Sometimes you gotta go back and forth with the painting. Let's get some of that. Let's get some of that snow in there this time. That down in there. Let's angle it off a little bit there. Whew. Coming to life right in front of us. Then we're just going to smooth that out with the back of the knife. There we go. Alright. Smooth it out there. You can see the flowing fault lines happen right in front of you. What wasn't there before all of a sudden is? There we go. Maybe a couple little more small ones. Just like that. Now, here's the part that none of y'all were expecting. Where it all started from in the first place. Let's go ahead and wash off our brush real quick. Will the final painting be in Discord? I'm sure we can make something happen with that. Don't you worry about that. Oh, the hair flicks. The hair flicks just fine. It actually bops. See? Look at that. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop, boop. That's where I keep my snacks. And GF Powers is right. This is going up for auction real soon. Oh, looks like my brush is shedding. Sometimes that happens. It's alright. You just save that for a snack later. Now, the moment y'all weren't expecting. We're gonna get a little gold in this painting. Yes, sir. Yes, sirree, Bob. You don't want to do too much of the gold. Yeah, hair snacks. It's a thing. Yeah, it's the thing Doug taught me. Now, we already have a lot of gray up at the top here. We want to separate that a little bit from the waters below, just down the edge right here. What we want to do is we want to make it a nice golden sunset. So you just get the motion going first. You feeling that? Just get the motion going first. And then you just want to brush. Just through and through like that. Just down and away. Maybe up a little bit. It's okay if you still have some gray in there. It'll blend perfectly. You get that beautiful gradient that we're seeing right now. Yeah, we just dab it down here like this. You want to get the first layer on, just like this. Whoo, boy howdy. Whew. Mom's gonna be proud when she sees this one. She puts all of her paintings on my fridge. On her fridge, sorry. Oh yeah, I have to hold this, I forgot. And yes, surprisingly enough, she also holds the world record for largest fridge. Look at that beautiful blending. That beautiful gradient that's coming out right there. Thank you so much, Victorian. It does look pretty good, doesn't it? Let's go ahead and blend that mountain into the sky. Nothing says reality like blending a mountain into the skyline. There we go. We'll get that gradient going again right there. It's alright. It's alright. We can clean it all up later. Let's get a little bit more gray in there. We want to see that contrast, that beautiful contrast. Let's get a little bit more of that gold in there. Nothing quite like gold. Whenever I like to think of gold, I think of my old alien friend named Jezrix. Did I ever tell you about my alien friend named Jezrix that I met? Craziest story I ever heard. See, one night, I was out with some friends. We were doing a little BMX backing like we do. And we were on a trail. And I got separated from my friends. I was super scared there for a little while. And all of a sudden, deep in the woods, this little guy came to me. He was glowing this beautiful shade of pinkish green. Never seen any color like that before in my life. Well, of course, that's where I met him. He hopped into my basket, and we flew out of that mountainside, right beside that forest. I'll tell you, it never gets much better than meeting new friends, does it? Concrete, you're going to be an alien too one day? I hope that works out for you. Let's get our other brush with the phthalo blue. Let's clean up the bottom here a little bit, shall we? Oh, Dragon's Rest, welcome in, my friend. Good to see you. I'm glad you're enjoying the stream. And hopefully you can paint along with me next time. There we go. Now we're just going to get that deep ocean blue. Again, that just blends nicely into that sunset. There we go. Just want to brush that away from the mountain. There we go. Whew. Damn near perfect. Well, I think, Red Dial, you should go ahead and learn how to paint. Best way to do it is to go to prison. That's right. If there's one thing I can endorse, it's prison painting. Where's my other... Oh, I got so many knives here. You know, I have more knives here than I do paintbrushes. I don't know why. I guess it's just the fact that this is what I'm most comfortable with in life. So much useful advice. Well, aren't you glad you came today? I know I am. What crime would I recommend in order to achieve the goal of going to prison? Well, really depends on the color of your shirt. There's always fraud for the white collar. There's always embezzlement. That's always a fun word to say, especially when you hear it in court. I know I've heard it a few times. Embezzlement. Always puts a smile on my face. Tax evasion. That's always a good one too. Yep, good old tax evasion. It's the reason why I don't live in Britain anymore. Don't tell the Queen, Mum. No, King Mum now, I guess it'd be called. Huh. R.I.P. Queenie. Represent. She was a good one. It's not called King Mum? I think you're wrong, but agree to disagree, Dragon. Rob Ross should have painting nights. It'd be fun. It'd be fun to do it with all of our friends. Maybe next time we can do it together. Y'all can tell me exactly where to put my strokes. I love people telling me how to stroke. There we go. Now I just want to fix this up a little bit. What do we need? We need one of these right here. Oh yeah, I forgot all about this. The sponge. The sponge brush. Watch what this does. It'll happen right before your eyes. Look at that blending. Look at that. Wow. Look at those nice, sharp, clean lines that it makes for us. Just go ahead and dab it into the paint directly. And we can just go down, back up in here. There we go. There's what we're looking for. Wow. Yeah. Made myself a fun nerd purchase today for the holidays. Hobbit, Lord of the Rings. Word I've never seen before, unfinished tales and more stories. 5+ more books on the history of Middle-earth. Came today so happy and enjoying the brilliance of Rob Ross. Glad that you're here. Enjoy those books. Books are for nerds. So's math. That's why we're here. There we go. Just mixing it up into the landscape a little bit there. Now, what do we need to use? What are we missing on here? I know what we're missing. The last little piece. The piece de resistance. What would it be? Would it be a Rob Ross show without some happy little trees? I think that's what we need. What color do we want them to be? Let's make some nice. Let's throw some craziness into there. We don't even need to worry about where we're going anymore, because we're all over the map. Let's go with some copper tone trees. Oh, excuse me. I had burritos for lunch. There we go. I don't know if y'all knew this or not, but you're supposed to wet the brush with your mouth, not with a jar of paint. That was a terrible idea. Okay. Yeah. Let's get that little forest bonus, shall we? Y'all been wanting it. Let's go ahead and do it. There we go. We're just going to make some nice little copper ocean trees. Just going down on that angle, just like. Oh boy, howdy. Oh boy, howdy. There we go. Oh, got a little white mixed up in our copper, but that's okay. Let's just go ahead and put another one right here. Here we go. Yeah, just like that. You want your colors to blend as much as possible. Gives them that realistic look. You just want to touch it lightly, not too much. There we go. That's looking fantastic. Nothing says reality more like ocean trees. 100% agree with you there, my friend. You buy this as a TV cable show? Well, you know what? I don't want you to have to buy it, Dragon. I do it for free. I do it for free because I love you guys. I don't know if I say this enough to y'all. But y'all are beautiful people. And if you were to go to prison, I'd write you every day. Oh yeah, that's a good little tree there. Let's get that. There we go. Yeah, happy little copper trees. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. Do I ever sing while I'm painting? Sometimes I like to sing when I'm painting. It's a good painting song. Oh, right. This is my personal favorite. I don't know if I ever told you guys this. Shorty got them apple bottom jeans. Boots with the fur, The cold club was looking at her. She hit the flow. Next thing you know, Shorty got low. Can't sing too much on stream, that's the problem. I'll get claimed with the DMSA. Yep. A deadly computer virus from what I've heard. I've had friends succumb to the DMSA. Not a pretty sight. Gonna start your own little embezzlement ring right now? Just to get Rob Ross to write you any day? Well, you shouldn't tell us. But hypothetically, if you were gonna do something like that, we wish you the best of luck. Hypothetically, of course. Oh, Cinderfingers, thanks for joining us today. I don't know what a trism is. I just make that up. Pretty sure it is a moth. Well done. You figured out my little trick. Just a couple more trees. We just want to round out that mountain. Yeah, prison rules painting is how it's done. I laundered some money today, literally. Came out a little wrinkly. That's a good one, my friend. That's a good one. You should tell that one to all your friends and family. I'm sure they'd be real proud and happy to hear it. I know I was. There we go. There we go. Nothing like a nice little copper ocean forest to get everything all done for us. Wow. Sometimes you gotta just sit back and take a look at your artwork and say, hey, this is a thing of beauty. If you've ever wondered what the Twilight Forest looks like in my Feywild, this is it. Makes me tear up a little bit. Just so happy sometimes. What do you guys think? Did you enjoy watching me paint this beautiful masterpiece? Exquisite thing of beauty. It's like love spread across a canvas, smeared in the best of ways. Feeling a little emotional right now too? I'm glad, Mythic. I'm glad. And the best part is, if you want, with a painting like this, you just go like this. And then you can tell people you got a fantasy play button made from the Twilight Forest. How many people out there have a Twilight Forest play button? Looks just like mine right up there. Maybe facing the wrong way, but we did it. We did it, guys. I just want to say on behalf of all my friends, all the streamers that I work with, all the people who like to come hang out with me, love all y'all so much. We had a great time here today, didn't we? That's going to end up our painting session. What do I call it? Oh, right, a dexterity check. I forgot. I'm looped like a loop right now, guys. Now, I think that's where we're going to wrap it up for today, because I don't think we can do any better than this. When you see perfection, you just leave it alone. You got to. Oh my gosh. Hey, World Anvil. Welcome in. It's your old pal Rob Ross here today. You're joining us just as we're wrapping up. But as you can see, we made a beautiful imagery of both our fantasy play button and what my Twilight Forest looks like. We'll take note of the copper forest down there and the golden sunrise in the back. So glad to have y'all here today. Yeah, light up that forge. Why don't you? Now, there's a couple extra things we got to do this painting, but unfortunately we got to head out for the day. Thank you for the raiders who came in, but we were just about to head out ourselves. Hope you all have a wonderful day. For those of you who don't know, I'm Rob Ross, and this is the Rob Ross Hartley channel. Ross is my middle name. I don't know if I ever told you any of that, but if you want to call me Rob Ross Hartley from now on, I'd be okay with that. Just spam it away in chat, any stream that I have. Hashtag Rob Ross Hartley. Thank you so much, guys. It's been an honor and a pleasure to be here with y'all today. I'll let DM Dave know that you said hi, Emily. Glad to have you. Now, Fancy, do you want us to... Are we going to be raiding out? Or are we just going to... should I just end in the stream? I'm not sure what to do here. I'm not sure what to do with my hands. Oh, y'all, so thank you so much. GF Powers for the 100 bits. Paint with shivs with Rob Ross. That has a ring to it. I might change Dexterity check to paint and shivs with Rob Ross. Oh, Lord, thank you so much for the 100 bits as well. It's so very kind of you. Don't tell anybody, you've always been my favorite. Fancy, thanks so much for the 100 bits as well. Y'all hype people are awesome. We can raid out. I don't know who's streaming right now. I don't have anything up. Put them in my hair? You mean put the paint and shivs in my hair? For the photo? Okay, let's get a couple of the paint and shivs in there, shall we? We get our brush in there as well. Just one last thing before we leave. Let's go ahead and get that big old brush in there. That brush might be a little too big. We'll get a couple more paint and shivs in there. That's probably the best way to put them. Just like so. There we go. Now we got antlers, like some of those deers. Those good old knife deers. Fantastic. Don't lose my snacks. You're absolutely right. Well, Fancy, let me know what you want to do. I'll go ahead and just pick someone at random. That's a great idea. Why don't you do that? And hey, just so y'all know, I'm gonna be online a little bit later today as well. I posted my schedule down in the Discords. So hey, if you want to go check that out, that'd be great. I think I'm gonna be doing something. The knife deers live live on the mountain. That's Rat Sparrow. They sure do. They sure do. Paladin Archive? Sounds good to me. If you want to make that happen for us, Fancy, that'd be fantastic. Twitch Tales with Dak. That should be a good time. I hope he doesn't screw up entirely and break the thing that I've been working so hard on for so long. You know, TPK chat. That'd be something. 100-person TPK. That's world record if I've ever heard one before. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. It was an absolute blast. I might come back sometime, do another little painting.
Did you know my patrons get a lot of special perks, like access to all of my homebrewed rules and stats and spells and feats and all sorts of things? Check it out.